The Retirement Halftime Show. Maintain your lead in retirement.
And you're watching the Retirement Halftime Show. I am your host, Alexander Joyce, and of course with us, co-host Alex Clark. And today we have a very interesting topic that relates to just about anybody that is either getting ready to retire, way pre-retirement, in the thought process of how are we going to create income in retirement, because what we've been relying on the last 30 or 40 years is our own earned income, right? And that is, that's scary in any situation, whether it's being laid off or whether it's losing a job or whether it's changing a job. But I think the same mind frame of that is just as scary, if you would, when you're getting ready to retire, because the same thing happens, right? What you've been relying on your whole life goes away. And so as fun as it may seem, I think there's some anxiety there.
100%.
Right? And I think the goal there is to make sure that we can create our own income in retirement, right? Because I think that because we're all living longer, it's not the desire of, or it's not the thing about it is it's not that you can't work physically, because we're all living longer and health is in a better position, if you would. But it's the goal of not wanting to work and check off those things on your bucket list. So I think income creation is a really good topic. Would you agree?
Yeah, a lot of people come into our office and they say, hey, I am retired or looking to retire. I've got this pile of money,
sure,
right? Our bills are this much. We know our Social Security is going to pay us this much.
Right.
Where can we create, or how much can we create from our assets?
Right. And I think for our viewers to just kind of visualize this is you can simply do an easy practice, right? You can lay out your left hand and say, you know what, here's my income foundation or my income need, whether that's my Social Security or my pension, and then you can simply lay out your right hand and say, here's my lifestyle. So if your expenses are here in my left hand, and that could be $3,000 a month, and your lifestyle equals $6,000 a month, well, in between, there's that, as you mentioned, that pile of money, and that's what most people start to shovel away,
sure,
to fill that gap. And there's also this mentality, of course, when people retire, and we just see this through research, is that when most people just retire, every day is like a Saturday, right? So they tend to spend more, and there's a time frame in which that spending increases, goes down. We understand the patterns, we have to, all right, and not just in our practice, but industry-wide, research-wide. And then there's also this mentality of, well, I'm used to making $50,000 in pre-retirement earned income, and we ask the question. This is always fun to ask. If you're used to making $50,000, how much income do you want to make, or do you? What is your income goal in retirement? And that number, if you're used to making $50,000, usually ends up about $100,000, right? And so I think that being realistic and setting, if you will, realistic expectations from the ground floor is very important.
Yeah, the common theme, or what I experience is, I want to maintain the same lifestyle. Nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
And that's vital for us to kind of know that, right? Maybe within that time frame, the house is going to get paid off, which is a big monthly expense.
Sure.
So knowing that and planning for that is very helpful.
It is helpful. It is helpful. And the thing is, and I know we can get very winded on this topic, right? But I think that the thing also is that, generally speaking, when individuals reach what we call the top of the mountain, if you will, being retirement, they tend to think, well, you know what, now it's time for me to be extremely conservative, and they go into a more conservative position. But we have to make sure we understand expectations are managed, make sure we understand that we can't really lose sight of what got them there. Right? We have to make sure that we understand what got them there. At the same time, wealth preservation is very important. Income creation, to us, right, is probably the most important piece of the pre-retirement process, being retired and executing that correctly at the right time.
Absolutely. You're famous for saying you only want to retire once. That's really important to us. Is we design plans, is making sure that income gap is filled through like you mentioned, pension, Social Security, any other fixed incomes. But making sure you retire once is definitely one of our key priorities.
Absolutely. Alex, I can't thank you enough. And I think for our viewers, stick around, there's a lot more to come.
The Retirement Halftime Show. Maintain your lead in retirement.
I'm Alexander Joyce, President and CEO of ReJoyce Financial. If you're in retirement or near retirement, with all life's changes, it never hurts to get a second opinion. Managing expectations is the foundation of a prosperous relationship. Our goal is simple. We want to get to know you. So pick up the phone and make an appointment for a complimentary visit. There is no cost, no obligation. We simply want to get to know you and see if we can add value to your life in retirement. We can discuss topics like income planning, sequence of return risk, taxes, and estate planning, Social Security maximization, and much more. Let us help you develop strategies that can develop a successful retirement. If you want to know more about successful retirement strategies, then call now, schedule a visit, and let us help you rejoice in your retirement.